Well, I started watching your YouTube channel a lot more lately. I've been watching you for a while now, but I just thought about just doing a VOD. Actually, I wanted to get a VOD for a friend, like as a
Mm-hmm.
gift, because he sucks so bad. But
Ha!
I just thought that'd have been a little rude.
Yeah,
But then I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what? I kind of want to do this myself. But basically, I played Overwatch since day one, and I loved it. I was like diamonds, like low diamond, high plat, uh, when I played, and I was always off tank. And then when
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch 2 came out and they removed the one tank, I kind of just like fell off. I didn't know how to adjust. I don't know,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So then
Understandable.
I started watching more and more. I think a friend was like, "Hey, you know they buffed the hell out of Reinhardt, and he's like fun to play again." So I downloaded it again, and I just tried to play it, and I was just I'm terrible now. Um, and I'm terrible at like I feel like all my roles on tank, and yeah. So now I can barely even hang in gold, and I'm like, what is
Right.
like? I used to be somewhat decent at this game, so I was like, you know what? Let me try getting some real help here. You know.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Okay, so I was going to ask how long you've been playing in your hero pool, but obviously those questions have kind of been answered along the path. And what you could do is you can be like, man, this coaching session was so good. I learned so much. It was great. Maybe you should get one. It's a perfect conversation starter for your sucky friend, right? Um, Okay. Now it's kind of interesting to me that you were describing yourself as more of an off-tank player, but you came back and you were willing to kind of give Reinhardt a try. And in your form, you even have Winston too. Is that just more out of necessity, or is it by desire, or what?
Well, like I told you, like I was like a more of a like a low diamond high plat player, and this
Yeah.
could sound so dumb, but like I remember I rode like 2 or 3 seasons on Winston tanking,
Yeah.
and I was up there, but I was just always a Zarya player. I just loved playing her. I every chance I got, I would be playing Zarya. And I would play Reinhardt and everybody else or anybody else. Honestly, I'll go into any tank.
Yeah.
But Zarya was like the thing that I loved and enjoyed the most, even if I wasn't getting as much SR as I might have
Yeah.
with Winston. So that could be a flaw in itself, but yeah, I always thought of myself as an off tank player, but I could be, I could be, wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to play a certain subset of characters and trying to make those characters work. The question just kind of comes to like how good are you at adjusting your play style and adapting how you're playing. I mean, I just got out of a Hazard game. I'm trying to learn him a little bit better so I can coach him. That's kind of like my play X Hero to Masters thing that I do with every new character. And
Yeah, yeah.
we had a game on Nepal Shrine, Nepal Village, no problem. Short sight lines, a little bit of high ground here and there. It's fine. Well, we roll out in Nepal Sanctum, and you know the one. It's the wide open one with a point just totally naked exposed. You familiar?
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like, I got to start thinking because they're playing Zenyatta, damage boosted Sojourn, and an Ashe. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna get murked. Like I have no healing.
Yeah.
I have like so I legitimately was using the high grounds outside the map. Like little coast side. There's like a health pack over there. There's like little flank routes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually I only see like a Genji take that, right? Well, I was using those a lot, and it worked out quite well because I realized that if I just sit there and take the tank trade directly in front of Discord with the damage versus Sojourn, my Brigitte isn't exactly going to be doing jack all, right? There's nothing to peel, there's no dive, so it's like it's not that I'm playing the character differently. It's just I'm realizing the rules have changed, right? So I have to think what else in this character's kit makes sense, and I think that's an important skill, really, no matter what character that you play. But I think it's especially important for characters that have more limited options like Reinhardt, Light, Zarya. You have to kind of find a way to adapt. So I want to look to improve my game sense of decision making, try and break bad habits, and learn more about myself as a player. And obviously those are all important things as well. And I always say that there's nothing more hard stuck than a washed old player. And I say that with a total lack of self-awareness because I fall in that category as well. But reality, what happens is that you have like a level of expectations for yourself. You don't live up to those expectations because you're washed. The game has passed you by in terms of the average player best has improved and you have not. But even more than that, and some weird twisted sense of irony, one of the things that you really pick up when you come back is that you're able to execute all those old bad habits real quickly, but you can't figure out to get the good things right. For me, one of my worst heroes in the game is Genji, and Genji's the reason why I'm literally started playing this character, playing this game, excuse me, and he's like my third most played character, and he's probably my worst currently, because what happens is I played him a lot. I had went through my initial Overwatch first-person shooter bad habit struggles with that character, built a lot of bad habits, but a lot of good habits, and then due to coaching and stuff, I just didn't play him for years. So I pick him up now. Not only is he hard, but it seems like the only thing that I can do properly, or the only thing is all the bad stuff, right? All the bad habits I had as a bronze player, right? I don't go into him with a fresh slate like I do with so many other characters. And like you probably have a lot of that baggage too. So it's not just going to be don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. It's going to be, build it, but it is going to be some of that, right? There's going to be a lot of misconceptions that you probably have about the game that may have been true back in the day, or maybe they weren't. You just haven't had the chance to break them. And as the player base has improved and you've gotten more rusty, your relative skill has just dropped as a whole.
Yeah, I was also like thinking that in the back of my head. I'm like, I think is this like just an ego thing? Like, am I just not as good anymore? And I think I should be better. Like, and I watch so many coaching videos all the time. Like at work, I just like leave you guys on. In the background at work, and I see so many times people are like, yeah, this is his ego right now. Like, this is his ego. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. But I was like, is it that?
Yeah. I think ego is just an unearned image is kind of what it is. It's not ego to say I'm great if you're great. It's not ego to say I'm pretty good at this character if you are good at this character. Ego is a conflation or an inflation of where you are to where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
Which is why it's such a bad thing, is because it makes you feel like, oh, I deserve this, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. In reality, that you aren't that guy. There's nothing wrong with thinking highly of yourself, right? If you are deserving of that, right? There's not even anything wrong with thinking that you could be there, right? I think every guy out there and that I know is probably thinks that deep down, if I could get it, I could build a rock hard Arnold Schwarzenegger body. Now, whether that's true or not, we all think that we have that potential, if I just really wanted to, right? And don't fill in the blank that with really any skill, right? The reality, though, is like, where am I at right now, and what do I need to get there? And so, like, I think that's the trap, right? It's like part of a healthy ego is knowing that, like, this is where I want to be, this is where I think I can be, but this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I try so hard, too, to be like, to take accountability, too. Like, not just like, yeah, my teammates sucked that round.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm hard stuck, or the game is putting me in these shit games on purpose. It's just like stuff like that. I'm like, if this is where I belong, this is where I belong.
Right.
It sucks because I used to be so much better, but it's a different game now.
Yeah, it is. And I wouldn't just say that you would used to be so much better. I say you definitely used to be better. But again, as I said, the player base has evolved. They have improved. And I've been around this game a long time, and I can go back and look at some of my old Grandmaster gameplay from 2018, and it looks like Diamond. It really does. Like, I mean, I'm not no hyperbole here. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, people's understanding of the game is just improved. I think generally, more than anything else, just like mechanically, just people are more comfortable using mouse and keyboard in a first-person shooter. Like, this is not an old thing, like the whole first-person shooter thing, like using abilities, hero shooters, like Overwatch was like it's a pretty new kid on the block still. So, but yeah, like, I mean, you've definitely gotten a little worse for you though. It's like, it's not just about the accountability of like, I suck, but like, okay, well, what do I suck at? Like that's why we're here, obviously. But like, it's not good enough to be aware that you're bad. You have to actually know what do you need to do better, and I guess that's why we're here. So. Training time for you 3 to 4 days a week, 2 to 3 hours per session. Is that still the case?
Lately, no.
All right, talk me through it.
Just been busy.
Yep.
And then Rivals came out, and I've been kind of playing that.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a good game. It's a fun game. Yeah.
And then I have to thank you because when I was filling out your form, it asked about the sleep.
I was gonna say.
And that's like, I've heard you say it in streams before. And I like kind of like just glossed over it, but when I was filling out the form, I was like, "Why does he ask that like so frequently?" And I actually ended up getting diagnosed with sleep apnea. So
bless!
But because of your question, I actually got myself to the doctor, and they diagnosed me with sleep apnea. And I just
that's incredible.
I get, like, 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night.
That's
really
incredible.
Like 3 hours of sleep because it's so interrupted. And so, yeah, I just got to go back now for my, what is that called? An in-house sleep test.
Yeah. They're a pain. I had an out-of-house one, and it was pain enough. But yeah, good luck with that, man. I'm glad you actually got a diagnosis with that. And
Yeah, yeah. I had no idea that my sleep was so limited.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
you planted the seed with that question,
good.
so thank you.
Well, of course, I'm glad to hear it. I mean, that's going to help your quality of life with everything. In terms of
Yeah.
Overwatch, I mean, obviously, I'm interested in your well-being, period. But for Overwatch specifically, and this is how I hook people in, is it really does affect your ability to learn and improve. You can physically recover with a 5-6 hours of sleep, maybe not optimally, but like your ability to react, respond, and learn, especially lessons from the previous day, it just isn't as good. So we want to try to fix that. And obviously in Overwatch, like how fast paced and how punishing it is, it's tricky. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of construct a mock schedule because obviously right now rivals and holidays and crap like that, like it's just how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like the optimal way of doing things is to get a couple hours with a brief warm up of ranked, taking breaks here and there, like getting up from your computer and just kind of going from there.
Okay.
You probably are familiar with that, but I would evaluate yourself and finding when and where you're departing from that when you are serious about improving at Overwatch. Right now, that may not be the case, but if it does become more of the case, you need to kind of hold yourself to that standard and be like, where am I falling?
Okay. Is like a warm up necessary?
I would say it's not necessary, but it is beneficial.
Okay.
Um, the way that I would the reason why I find so many people avoiding warming up is because they treat it like its own workout in of itself. And they're talking about like 15, 20, 30-minute routines. You really don't need that, especially for tank. What I do is I'll load up Vaxta, whatever tank I'm playing, and I'll find something mechanical with that tank and just go to town. Fire strikes, recently I've been just doing jump hazard shoot, jump hazard shoot, jump hazard shoot. Diva tracking, canceling my boosters that are on melee range and hitting those missiles, rinse and repeat. And I'm going to do that for like legitimately 2 or 3 minutes. Really, that's it. Just to kind of wake myself up, get myself in the groove, and then go from there. I do find that it has a benefit, yes. But
Okay. All
I
right.
think
Yeah.
most people avoid it because it's boring.
I've never done it before. Like I've just
Yeah.
go straight. I just go straight into comp and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
play.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot. I mean, it's not going to be like, it's definitely not going to be like, oh, it feels like a night and day. I mean, almost certainly. But you may notice a difference over the course of a week. And because it's such a tiny investment, I recommend giving it a shot. I played a lot of Overwatch 1, just well. A lot of discussion about your adjustment into Overwatch 2. I would say your game sense in Overwatch 2 is your biggest flaw. I'm not claiming to be a pro in Overwatch 1, but I did handle tanking it far better than here in Overwatch 2. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of other questions from your forum. Do you have any other questions for me? Hang on, I'm having an issue with the audio. If I talked over you, give me 1 second. Okay, I think I might have talked over you in the last minute because for whatever reason your mic wasn't picking up on my end. It's not your fault, my fault. Okay, sorry. Any questions?
No, no. I think I'm good.
Okay. I guess we can get into some gameplay review if you have a code here.
I don't. I realized that when I got home from work. I don't even because the new patch was not too long ago.
Can you stream through Discord?
Yeah, I can.
Let's do
I'm
it.
not sure if it'll be the best on my end.
It doesn't matter. 480, 30 frames per second. I don't care as long as it's visible.
Yeah, here we go. See that? Oh, that's the wrong. Oh no.
Take your time.
There we go. I haven't even tried Hazard yet in any capacity.
Well, you're ice cold, which is kind of how you normally play. So let's jump into ranked.
Okay.
Obviously, for hero pool, I'm the opinion that 2 to 3 hours means 2 to 3 heroes, right?
Okay.
So try to limit yourself here. Pick one tank if you can. You want the most to review or want the most to improve at. Let's just go.
Okay. I noticed also I figured it's just like, well, like you say now, like people just have gotten better at the game. I noticed across all my ranks, I've gone down to gold, and I was like, I guess I'm just consistent, or you know, hmm, yeah, but yeah, I like to play Genji too as a guilty pleasure, but I only play Genji when I'm like uh like quick play with friends and stuff.
Arriving at Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah. Oh, he's Hazard's out now in ranked. Okay. Trying to think. I mean, normally here I would go Winston, but I mean, I'll just try, right?
Let me adjust my screen share here, so. So what we could practice with Winston is what I will have, and this is how I'd like to do live coaching, is just think about one asset or aspect or facet of your play, whether that's how you're setting up for dives, being deliberate with your bubble placement, your alternate fire. What do you want to work on here?
My dives for sure.
Okay.
And
What about
bubbling,
your dives?
like falling instead of diving in and then diving out for safety.
Ah, I see. So setting up so you don't have to jump in?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Where am I set up? Where do I need to be set up?
See that's bad.
I mean, it's
I
fine.
missed
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, now set up for your next dive. Don't worry about the last mistake. Fix this one. Set up for your next dive. Nice. Good. Next dive, where do you set up? Nice. Patience. And then let's go. No, it's okay. It's good. That's okay. I mean, you're rusty, right? We knew this was going to happen, so this is not meant to be a performance here. So when you're making noises besides just hitting your roof on this or head in the roof, right? So
Yeah.
what are you frustrated or what do you feel like you're not performing on in terms of your setups?
I jumped on the healers instead of being patient and waiting for them to come through the
Got
car
it.
wash there.
Got it. I
And
understand.
I knew I should have waited.
All right, that makes sense. Good use of your bubble there. You might just die here. Oh, nice. Good escape. Huge escape. So even if... Oh, nice. You guys got touch. I would just jump in here and bubble. Nice.
Oh.
That's all right. I'd probably just die in card here.
Yeah. Get small charge.
Ooh, maybe. Oh, huge. Huge. So you guys got Katsuni out as well. That's really good.
Cool.
Good stuff. We'll take it.
I have ult here.
Yeah. So you can already start to think. First step is always your setup, exactly what you were practicing, right? So how do you want to set up for this ult? Start with the setup first, and then make the ult just as the cherry on top. Nice. Good. Beautiful. Well, I don't know where that Sigma came from, but we'll take it. Nice. Good stuff. I mean, really, like, it was well done mechanically, but it started with you being here, right? Like, that's what allowed you to... One, I didn't know you were there. You took no damage. He came in with a very nicely placed bubble. Well done. All right, does this staging continue to make sense, though, is the question.
I would say yes because they're not on the cart yet. Just be a little patient for them to come out.
Sure. Is there somewhere else where you can come out, where you can drop in them even easier?
Over here.
Try this. If they push you out, that's fine. See what happens. Let's get a trade here. Ooh, nice. Nice. Now you have no TP. That's okay. That's okay. You knew the mistake right away. It happens. And you played your life. Well done. All right, now stage. Your passive heal will kick in here. You can grab that mini health back up there. Just keep walking. You're fine. Don't wait for your honor. Just grab the health back and look for a dive. Nice. Beautiful. Nice. Excellent. Bubble again. Let's get up for our next dive. Good. She's out. Anna's out. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Next stage. Look for that Ana, look for that soldier, look for that Curie. All right. Nice. Good stuff. You're good. Reset. Do it again. I mean, you're not. You notice you're not even really taking any healing here, right? Like you're basically the pass field's doing everything for you. You can drop in now if you want to.
Crazy.
A little sloppy in the bubble placement, but the dive itself is really good. Okay. So that's just where your bubble placement. You got to play the edge, right? You know that she's going to sleep you, so.
I got dance on the edge.
That's it, exactly. But well staged dive, and you still got a lot of resources out of it. Let's do it again.
I see her over there now.
Nice. Drop that bubble. Or maybe not. Yeah, there you go. Now you have Primal here, so keep an eye on cart. If you need to go cart, you can, but you might just get this. Yeah. Whoa. Now worry about cart and look for that Curie. You're okay. You can't avoid that, really. You might need to...
This is right. I suck at...
That's okay. That's fine. No, that's fine. You guys, I think, win this fight off of that. Yep, good stuff. So this is Winston at its simplest. Every high ground is uncontested. You just use it, drop, cycle. Use it, drop, cycle. It's not always this simple, but when you're doing it, if you're able to do the simple things well, you're going to win. And right now you're doing the simple things well.
Where is he? There we go.
Yeah, let's go. Get her. Nice. You can even chase that. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. That's a good bubble right there. Caught her right in the edge. Careful for nade here as well. You can keep these guys busy for a long time. Nice. Pass field's going to kick in just a second. You got another bubble as well.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're still a distraction. Just stay inside that bubble. Careful about over pursuing here. Yeah. But that's just...
Yeah.
Well, that's just reading the situation, right? You're up one, but you've used your bubble, right? So you can't quite push in that aggressively so soon.
Okay.
But the initial couple of dives there were quite good, and I think you guys will be just fine. Nice to them. Good stuff.
Wow.
So, obviously, we're not really here to help you to play better. But you will notice that you'll play better at specific facets if you just allow yourself to relax and focus on what that is. Now, we focus on a big, sexy thing. Staging for dives. Man, if I could pick one thing for Winston players to work on, it'd be that one right there, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're able to do that one well, you're going to win. Sometimes you're going to have things like, let's say you have a habit with Zarya where you forget to end your clip with alternate fire. You beam, but you forget that burst damage with fire. You could have the entire game and you just focus on that. Is that going to help you win that particular game? Maybe. You probably do better focusing on bubble management and cover usage, right? But it's not all about winning that game. It's about, I need to drill this habit, and the best place to do it is a comp game, right? Okay. So I think you did a good job with what we were practicing there. What I want you to practice here is not your positioning. I want you to practice being very, very, very deliberate with your bubble placement. So when you dive something, think, when should I bubble? Should I bubble late? Should I bubble early? Do they have a crowd control that means I should bubble early? Do they have a lot of burst damage? You should practice that, all right?
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't mean you're not allowed to think about positioning at all, but I want the emphasis to be on bubble. Emphasis needs to be on bubble.
Oh, nope.
Be deliberate with your bubble placement here. So this coming dive, I want the bubble to be perfect. Bubble coming up in 3 seconds. Next bubble to be perfect. Even though this fight's won, be super specific with that bubble, if you even need to use it at all. Next bubble coming up. I want it to be pretty. Block the damage, split the healing. Yeah, that's it. Right in the edge. Right in the edge. Very good.
Oh, I fell. No,
That's all right.
I fell.
That's all right. It's all right. Next bubble coming up in a few seconds. Be very specific and deliberate with where you place it. Right in the edge. Split. That's okay. Ooh, huge. I want you just to blind jump in, bubble, and play for primal. Make a pretty bubble, though. That's okay.
bad.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. He
knows
used a
it's
cooldown out. I want you to pursue. Get that kill. You got your ult.
I'm getting out.
Yep. So sometimes you're bubbling a little too soon for targets that are immediately going to run away.
Okay.
For targets that run away.
That-
You don't bubble too soon on an Ana. You need to bubble soon on an Ana. But on
Okay.
EDR, you know what she's going to do. It's fine. It's a good bubble.
Sorry, my dog.
Nope. That's okay. Yep. That's fine. Good stuff. Next target. Good. Good. Still winnable, actually.
Ooh.
That's fine. They Kitsune. It's still winnable, actually. Oh, no. It's unlucky.
Well,
That's
that was
fine.
embarrassing. Got that?
End result's the same. Okay.
Always forget she could probably.
Uh-huh. Ah, look at that. Well, that was pretty nice there. Good. Play your life, chill for a second. Now about 5 seconds. Maybe a little early here.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. The intention was there. And again, we're not worried as much about, good stage dives and all that kind of stuff. We already talked about that. We're worried about the bubble placement. That was a nice little jump in EDR. You really were expecting her in every move, right?
Yeah.
It was good.
It clicked with me, like what she can do, like what
Yeah,
her kid
yeah.
is and what
It's
my-
because you're
mine
being
does.
deliberate about what you're trying to do with it, right? So, okay, let's go. Check your team, if you will. All right, let's wait till these guys get a little closer. Check your team again. All right, let's get ready to go. Find a dive. Perfect bubble. Nice.
That's a
No,
bad
no,
bubble.
no. That's good. That's good. So it was a good bubble, but you need to get to the edge again, right? So you dropped a bubble right smack dab in the middle. Look at that bubble. Bam! Three
Yeah,
people
I'm
inside the
in the
bubble.
middle of it.
Just
Yeah.
just don't get in the middle of it, right? Because your bubble's going to break no matter what they do. But the question is can you avoid dying while it's
Okay.
breaking? Played fine. I don't think there's anything egregiously wrong. Now,
I was actually pretty happy with my defense there.
yeah, I agree, and I don't think your attack was too shabby either. Now, here's the funny thing here. I don't even want to look at this replay code just yet. I want to look at another. We're gonna do another game. What was the difference between? Did you notice how the attack it felt a little bit more awkward to work on bubbles than it did to set up?
I thought because I was just focused on bubbles, like when to bubble and how to use my bubble, but I was just like kind of overthinking it.
Yeah. The reason that it felt a little more complicated is not just because maybe it's not as important, okay? The reason why is because there wasn't a very clear objective. With staging, it was where do I set up before the fight goes? Where do I set up before the fight goes? Where do I set up? With bubbles, what were we really practicing? Were we practicing staying near the edge of the bubble? We never really deliberately said that.
No.
Okay. It was more like, let's just have good bubbles, right? That's the type of feedback that you should avoid giving yourself. All right. So I intentionally gave you maybe a little bit more vague coaching just to demonstrate that's how you don't coach. Okay. That's how you don't coach yourself. That's when you say I need to die less, or I need to work on my jumps, or I need to, remember when I said I asked you what do you want to practice, and you said I want to work on my dives. And I said, well, what do you mean? That's not good enough, right? Like, you have to tell me, what do you mean working my dives? And then you said, I want to drop, jump, which meant I want to set up for the dives, right?
Yeah.
So it went from vague feedback to specific, actionable feedback.
So now thinking about my bubble, well, I want to put my bubble down at the right time and, well, I guess analyze whether CC's coming or not. Put my
Yes.
bubble down at the right time, and then wherever I may be,
Sure.
use the edge of it more
Sure. But
instead
even
of
that's a little
sitting in
too
one.
much, right? And that
Okay.
feels like a little too much. You could just practice. I'm going to practice thinking about how to bubble versus who I'm diving. Sigma, bubble early. Ana, bubble early. Character like Kiriko can bubble a little late because she doesn't do a lot of damage, not a lot of bursts, and she can run away, right? So you could kind of think about how you want to bubble versus what you're jumping. Or bubble, stay on the edge. As we've seen, you died, what, three times, I think?
Yeah.
Because you're inside your bubble for no real reason, or got a CC or whatever when you should have been playing the edge. That's a habit you need to practice as well. So I would say either one of those would be good, specific habits to practice with bubbling.
Yeah.
But we're not practicing bubbles just for the sake of bubbles. We're practicing bubbles to work on our edge use or to work on whatever the base, right?
Yeah.
So we'll put down those 2 points on Winston, but let's re-queue, and I want a non-Winston game. So we're going to pray we don't get a Gibraltar again.
Okay. I don't think we will, but I was also thinking about going Diva on attack, but
I think Winston's fine. I think Winston's probably even better, frankly. But
okay.
I think if either one, if you like Diva and you want to play Diva, Diva's fine there too. Really, either one's fine.
Okay.
So while we're waiting here, I'll actually make a note in your channel. Winston, practice setting up pre-dive, positioning good for a better angle, bubble use, bubble timing dependent on who you dive. Go ahead and pick whatever tank you want to here.
So I would pick.
Play the bubble edge to dance. How much tank percentage-wise do you reckon you're playing of each tank nowadays?
Mostly it's just Reinhardt
Got it?
and Winston, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Works
like
for me. Let's do it.
80% of each, or 40% of each, and then the rest.
Yeah.
By the time I play Overwatch, I'm just like fooling around with friends. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I got you. All right, what do you want to work on here?
Friends that all like suck really bad, like low
Yeah,
tier
yeah,
COD,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
I
yeah.
play comp without them.
Yeah, makes sense. What do you want to work on here? If you're not sure?
I think.
Okay,
I think,
what about your positioning? Remember, be specific.
not take unnecessary shield damage?
Okay. So how do you do that with your positioning?
Get myself around corners.
So corners. So married to corners. The entire game, married to corners.
Okay.
That's our number one objective. Not taking shield damage, but corners. Always corners.
Oh, there's a ball. I don't do well against ball.
Well, you can't interact with ball, but it takes him off your responsibility. It's not your responsibility. Don't worry about ball. Your responsibility is the payload and the squishies in front of you. Corner, corner, corner. So even when you go aggressively, like you do here, you go to a corner. Corner doesn't mean defensive necessarily. Where's your next corner? Sure, this is a corner. No, this is a corner, though. It's good. Next step. Where's your next corner? This is not a corner. Yeah, that's fine. Now, where's your next corner? Yeah. Now, this is challenging. Where's your next corner? So you're probably going to need to back out here in a second. Well, maybe.
So.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Nice. Where's your next corner? Whoa. Go get that swing out. Nice. All right, next corner. Where do you want to go? As soon as you deal with this ball, where to? Yeah. I like the vision. Next corner. What do you think? Yeah. Okay, you're a little far back, though. Can you walk forward and find a forward corner? Either left or right. Uh-huh.
that sucker.
That's okay. That's okay. And then unfortunately, because you went right through the sucker, you kind of got stuck in no man's land and died without a corner. So you're leaning more towards being defensive here, and I don't mind that, right?
Okay.
Because you are finding corners. But remember, the corner could be in front of you to the left, in front of you to the right. You can even hold an off angle as long as it has a corner.
Okay.
If you pin to a corner. I think you guys are even here. I think you guys can walk forward.
Oh.
He thought about it.
Oh. Oh, crap. These guys are behind.
Yeah. Nice. He dies. Good fire strike. Well done. All right. Let's go. Next corner. Next corner. Left or right, I want you to choose. Nice. Good. So even now, next corner. Whoop.
Oh, shit.
Okay, no, that's okay. That's okay. You got 2 ults here. Okay.
I was trying to put the shield in front of him.
Yep, no, it's totally fine. All right, find your corner. Find your corner. Stay here. Good.
This
Pinned. No, it's okay. You're pinning to a corner.
Jesus.
Good. I mean, that was really good despite being down 1. And despite probably you needed to shield more there, considering your HP. But you notice how that you didn't die immediately somehow, right? Well, because you pinned to a corner. You were down 1 and you still almost won because you pinned to a corner. Pick corner cuts down the damage that you take and allows you to be more aggressive. All right. Next step. Next corner. Where do you go? Top corner? Bottom corner? Left corner? Right corner? Doesn't matter to me. Your choice. Hold the corner. See, she's going to push you, but it's scary for her. Hold the corner. Hold the shield. Stay on the corner. Find some sort of cover. You can shatter that if you want.
Oh, are you serious?
No, he still dies. He still dies. That's the calculated thing. Just keep swinging. All right, where's your next corner? Left, right, top. Your choice. Be decisive.
Oh, wow. They just pulled off the point, huh?
Yeah, well, you guys got a couple of trades. You had a really. It feels kind of awkward, but you guys actually won that fight. Yeah, do it up.
Ooh.
It's okay. Next corner. Yep. Yep. Nice. He's taking a lot of damage right now. Nice job. Next corner. It's okay. Let's walk. You got 2 end payload here, so you can walk forward. He goes, Malga to counter Ryan, and Zen Ryan really destroys Malga. Just hold this corner here.
That's a dumb chase.
Well, that's okay, because that's another corner. So if you commit the pin, just commit. Get a dragon strike you, so back off. Back. Now find your next corner. I want you to push here. Let's push, let's push.
Oh, I thought there was somebody in here.
I think there is. I'm not sure where they are. Okay, there you go. Now I want you to hold that spawn door and hold shield. Go, go, go. Pin, 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 pin. Hold either to the right or to the left. Or Hold shield. Hold shield. Eventually your tracer will... Oh no.
Oh no.
That's okay. I got Rift Tire out. So I don't actually like you falling back there, because when you went back from holding that spawn door, and you fell backwards, you fell into the open and started to take damage. The corner means you corner, all the way to corner. We'll look at it in the replay code and clarify a little bit more. But it's a good start, bad finish. It's the reason you lost.
Okay.
Among other things, of course. All right. Find your corner. Shatter the first thing that you see as soon as your team's ready to fight. Even if you don't get the kill, just force a bunch of cooldowns. Okay, let's go. Where's your corner? Yep. Nice. Yep. Yeah, she's just hold shield, just hold shield, hold shield, hold shield, just hold shield, just hold shield. Yep.
Oh, get to me. Oh.
No, that's alright. If you hold shield, you deny his lifesteal, he dies.
Okay.
Really important in that matchup.
To be honest with you, I still don't even know how his ult works.
It's just a giant cage that traps you, that's it. And you can break it like any other shield. It actually doesn't have that much HP. It's not like Symmetra Wall, you know?
Yeah.
You just have to shoot it. So for you, because you can swing at him and kill him, but then he heals off of it, so just hold shield.
Okay.
Ryan is actually quite good versus Malga with the right backline or DPS line, and you have the right backline. So yeah, it's just not very interesting matchup. You should probably pen out here. All right, think about what corner you want to hold here, because I think your team will be back very soon. Where's your corner? Find your corner. Let's walk. Don't be behind your Zen. Walk to that corner right there. Just walk right to that corner and hold it. Yep. All right, next corner. Keep walking. Good, 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 good. Let's walk.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice fire strike.
Like I start to chase for no reason.
Well, in a map this big, there will be a little bit of chasing that you might need to do. The question is, are you decisive with your chasing, or do you hesitate? If you hesitate, you lose. You hesitate, you lose. You could chase, just be decisive. Very good. Let's take a look at the replay code.
Cool.
We'll talk about corners, obviously. We'll talk about more than that as well. We'll kind of use this as a backdrop of what you need to be doing with Reinhardt, period.
Oh, shit. Wrong button. Where's the replay code? Where's the damn code?
Let me just check in. Yeah, so this is go back. Don't go to the gameplay report. Leave the gameplay summary. Go all the way back. Go to your career profile. History at the top.
Oh, there you go.
And then the replay is on the left. No, on the very left. There's like a tab there on the left. Yeah. And then you can click on the Esperanza and click share on the bottom right. And that should get it for you.
I just close out of this.
We're all set. And I will start my my streaming and we'll be good to go. So I treat cover as like a pretty important fundamental of Ryan, but it's kind of funny because there are other things that you could be working on. And there's other situations where, you know, you could have done this, that probably would have won the fight, or you could have done this, that probably would have won the fight. But for what we wanted to practice, we just wanted to work on cover usage. So we're going to look at two things here. We're going to look at your Reinhardt gameplay in general. Can you see, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to look at your Reinhardt play in general, but we're also going to look at your cover usage specifically. So how good were you at practicing what we asked, and how good was your Rein, period. So we'll grade your cover performance, but then also give you some other things to work on too. Sound good?
Okay.
If any questions, if any questions come up, just let me know.
Yeah.
So the goal with Rein is to hit people with your hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's as simple as it gets. The advantages that he has over other Brawl tanks are two things. One is his mobility. which compared to a character like Zarya or Orisa, he's exceptional mobility and the ability to move around the map and hit lots of people with his hammer, as opposed to Orisa who can really only hit what's directly in front of her. And then you have a character like Malga, who in theory can match your mobility and can also wants to get up close to people to set them on fire and kill them. But the difference between Reinhardt and Malga is a situational distraction. Reinhardt is not. Reinhardt's distraction value is always immediately there. So what you can think about it is, we'll play this out. This fight goes here. If I was Malga, what's up?
No, I was just say like, I find it interesting. Like you helped me through that game, and I felt like I wasn't doing enough. But I guess I was making the space for the team to do what they needed to do.
That's correct.
And, when we first come out here and I see that ball, I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. Like it's over. Like I suck against ball, and I just suck against ball. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting that like I felt like I wasn't doing jack. Like it didn't feel like a dominant Reinhardt game that I like love to do. You know, 6-man shatter or 5-man shatters or whatever. But we pushed through, and like I guess I was just the positioning was everything.
There's two answers to that. One, you might have been the worst player in the lobby. No joke. Right? Like the way the matchmaker works is sometimes it will have, in the interest of not making a 15-minute queue for everybody. Sometimes it will put a plat 4 or plat 3 player in there versus another plat 4 or plat 3 player. That might have been your Genji versus their Hanzo. And he just won the match. And your job is not to play differently, but the expectations for the matchmaker is not really all that high. They expect me to be the worst player in the lobby, and that's just how it is. That's going to happen frequently. Now, how often that's going to happen at your rank, I don't know. Generally, because Gold 1, Gold 2 is a very populated rank, you probably won't have that issue. The more reasonable, probably the more logical answer here is the fact that you did a lot. You just didn't get a lot of direct dopamine out of what you did.
Yeah.
You look at a character like Reinhardt. Goes back to my second point earlier. You can have a lot of threat with your hammer, and because of that threat, people are scared of you. So when they're scared of you, they shoot you. When they shoot you, they're not shooting your team. Your team takes space. Your team wins the game. And there are a lot of fights here where that was exactly what was happening. I mean, even the fact that even psychologically, right? Why on earth would Pirate John see Zen, Juno? I mean, why would you go Malga into that? No, he's a goal player. He's not smart enough to think that through, but he went Malga because of you. And he lost the game because Malga was a horrible choice. So Reinhardt is a character, and if you're a good tank as a character, you'd force responses with your hammer. You don't always have to use your hammer. It's the threat of the hammer. I mean, you were reality, like you are the cowboy 1874 walking down high noon with your holster and the mother of pearl handle, right? And everybody knows who you are, and you don't even have to touch that sucker. People respect you. They know what you can do with it, right? That's really what Reinhardt is. And it's that threat coupled with his shield that just allows you to hold people's attention for so long, but never actually do anything. Now, can you do something? Of course. But that is kind of the nature of how Ryan works. So we'll look at a couple of things here. Like, for example, this initial rollout, this is fine, except for the fact that you were distracted by ball. Don't worry about ball. You know why? Because you can't keep up with him. So don't worry about it. You can only do what you can do. What you can do is make sure that this follow-up doesn't happen, because this is what's going to kill your team, right? That's what's going to kill your team. Ball can rarely 1v5. Rarely, right? What he can do is make sure he doesn't get follow-up. Fire strike was good. Now, this is when I was asking you, what corner do you want to play? Do you want to play here? Or do you want to play here?
Where that Hanzo is probably is better. It gives my team more sightline on me.
Right, you have more space. The reality, though, is it's up to you, right? It's up to you. So this is when a pin is good, because are you going to take damage on this pin? Yes. Are you going to kill this Hanzo? I don't know. But what is this Hanzo going to have to do with his positioning when you move towards him?
He's going to have to move.
He's going to have to move. And not only move, but move out to the open and away from an off angle. An off angle is what's lethal in this game, because it means that your team is hiding from one threat and gets shot by another. You say, no, go back, stay with your group. This Ana's not a threat. This Life here is not a threat. Go stay with them. So when you penned here, this was really good. This was really, really, really good. Because you force them into one small space. Exactly what you said, Look at how much space your team controls.
Okay.
You see this? Genji has a pincer, supported by Zen. Juno has a sightline and you. Tracer's an angle. Now, a lot of this is because the Junkrat was not there yet, so which definitely made things easier. But yeah, good stuff. Now, good fire strike. This is where Rein is tricky, because you got to make a decision here. Where's your next corner?
To the right of the right of the car wash. I don't know what you call it. Yeah.
Like here?
Yeah, to the right of here.
Yeah, exactly. Give me another choice. A more aggressive choice.
A more aggressive choice, probably that doorway then on the left side. Under
You
the car
could.
wash.
You ready for this? Spicy?
Here. Okay.
Is there a corner here?
Wait, am I red or blue? Oh,
You're
I'm
red.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, yeah, I would split that Anna off.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You pin the Anna, and she's now isolated for her Hanzo or Life Weaver, even if you don't get the kill.
Yeah.
So this is where I hate. I don't like to see floating here. You're stuck here. You're stuck here. You're stuck here. Heck, you're stuck here. Or even you're stuck here, right? I don't care. But you're stuck somewhere. You force attention to force a response. This is good.
So would you say going to that corner, when that Hanzo was there, going to that corner was more of a temporary move?
No, because it's your next step. It's kind of like a sequential thing. You go to here, which means it's easier to get to here, right? Whenever you pin, whenever you're taking spaces, Ryan, whether you're pinning or not, and this is the funny thing. People always talk about give pin a bad rap. If you pin down main, you're trolling, usually. When you walk down main, standing in the open, you're trolling, whether you're pinning or not. So if you were to stand here and just hold shield and walk the enemy backline, that probably wouldn't be the best play. If you were to pin down the middle of the backline, that probably wouldn't be the best play, because there's a lack of cover, there's a lack of corner usage involved with how you're taking space. You are safe here from crowd control. You're safe from burst damage. If you take damage, you're not going to die. If they try to push you, they have to get close to you. They don't want to do that, right? So when you move forward from here, your next question should be, where is my next corner? Where is my next hammer threat? You tell me where. Now, we can see through walls here. You normally can't. So what do you think?
I mean, I kept going back to the right where the ball and the Life Weaver are now.
Sure.
But I guess hindsight's 2020. I should have moved under that doorway
Okay.
towards their back line.
Is this a corner? Yes.
Yes.
Is this a corner?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
In my mind, I'm not thinking of it as a corner because it's not like, yeah, okay. All right.
It is. And that's the difference between aggressive Reinhardt and passive Reinhardt. Both can be effective in different situations. Aggressive Reinhardts pin onto angles. They never pinned on main, not smart ones. They pin on angles and flanks, and they swing and they hold shield, and they make everybody look at me, and they just sit there and hold shield, and they take like 10 seconds to die, right? Meanwhile, your team has the entire space. If you pinned at this Ana from this angle and walked on her and held shield, would that create space for your team? If you were to go right through here, pin, cancel, swing, hold shield right here, what would the enemy team do?
They'd probably have to rotate towards me.
They'd freak, right? They'd totally freak. Ball would dive you, Hanzo would dive you, Life Fear would probably life grip the Ana, and now your team has all the space. Do you see how, again, you've clumped them up if you do that? Again, you've clumped them up. It's totally fine. See, that's where your aggression needs to come from. It needs to be calculated, and it needs to be on cover. This is fine, though. This is still cover. You see? Oh, I see Storm Arrow. I duck behind the corner. The only thing that I saw sometimes is that due to your lack of experience or lack of practice, sometimes you'd be like, oh, I'm going to block some damage. And then sometimes like this, you just kind of stand. You know, it's that kind of like deer in headlights, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is where you could sit and hide, get your HP back, and then get really aggressive. Reinhardt's all about black and white. Either you're swinging or you're shielding. Swinging or you're shielding. There's no hovering in between, right? Because this damage means now you can't swing anymore, right? If you want to swing, you got to hide.
Yeah.
And this is still the case even back in 6v6. You have to be very deliberate to your timings. I think in general as well, while we're on that timing topic, we could talk a little bit about placement as well. I think sometimes your fire strikes were good, sometimes they were not. Sometimes they felt a little bit thoughtless with how you were placing them. We'll put that in our list of things to work on.
Okay.
And I don't have any deliberate feedback outside of just put more deliberate thought into them. But you see now how you really want to be pushing, but you can't. Why? Because of the thoughtless damage that you took, right?
Yeah.
Right? But it goes even worse, right? Right here. Shield or swing? Obviously, no swing. You're too far away.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
I took a lot on just that one.
Yeah. I don't even blame you for when it's Fire Strike, but when it's not Fire Strike, there really is no excuse. So keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to say here is going to shock you. Because you remember this, and you thought, oh, I ended up in Dragonol. That was a mistake. That's true. That's true. But even the concept of what you did was bad. Are you on a corner? Yes. Are you too far back? Yes. But at least you're on a corner, right? Where should you be?
Yeah.
Where's your next corner?
I guess my initial thought was my team's on the right side of the dragon. I need to get on that side.
And that's where I'm going to blow your mind. That is a mistake.
Okay.
Your job is not to protect your team with your shield. Your job is to protect your team with your physical presence being a threat. I want you to watch that as I ask you to move forward to the closer corner here. Look at how you force the Junkrat back as you walk forward. He gets scared, so he walks back. So then when the Dragon Strike goes, your physical presence is what's keeping that Moira back. It's what's keeping that Ana back. It's what's keeping that Junkrat back. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you go back here, not only do you take a lot of damage, watch how the enemy team responds. Do you see? Watch the blue circles. Watch the Ana, Moira, and Junkrat.
They push through.
They push through. So now, okay, yeah, your Zen's dead. To be honest, there's nothing you can really do to stop that. He got slept. He was in Dragonol. You can't shield a Dragonol, right? But you're full HP here, and you're on this corner. What happens now? Full HP on that corner. What happens to that Moira? What happens to that Ana? What happens to that Junkrat?
They end up pushing me.
Yeah, and then they either die or you end up holding their resources long enough so that your Junkrat or your Genji and your Juno live, right? The problem is that you fell back, it protected nobody, took a lot of damage, and then are now no longer a threat to anybody, right? So can you guess what that Junkrat's going to do with the space that you gave him?
Whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants, right? Whatever he wants. And also, actually, I was expecting this to be, it was actually the Ana. The Ana's the one that pops. So your Genji, I'm not going to lie, was kind of 1v5ing this entire time. But regardless of what happened there, you really let your team down by having a really nice corner and then falling back to protect your team instead of just holding the angle, holding the corner. Okay. All right? Do it. Remember, it's the same thing with ball. Don't chase the wrecking ball around. Do what you do best. Do what you do best. Hold short angles. Hold short corners.
Okay.
And then either hit people with your hammer or threaten hitting people with your hammer. Nice Fire Strike. Like that Fire Strike right there, that's a good representation of what you can do when you're really focused. Like it was funny because it was a hard Fire Strike, so it almost felt like you were more likely to hit it because I could tell you were really locked in. You know, you were like really like, I'm gonna hit this guy.
I'm throwing him out in the middle.
Yeah, I mean even that one right there, that was a really good one too, right? That was not an easy one either. So you're hitting all the hard ones. Then they go Malga because Malga counters Rhino, obviously. That Fire Strike is a great example of a lazy one. You didn't see anybody. You didn't see anything. Where's your corner?
I thought I was shooting at that Hanzo in the doorway, but...
Yeah, but look at where your crosshair was. You start here. Clonk, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a last-second adjustment where you're expecting it to throw it in the corner and you go, oh, Hanzo's there, right? But that's just it's a good idea to get in that habit. All right, so where's your corner?
The bus stop.
Sure.
Is that too out in the open?
It's not a great corner, but it's better than what you're doing right now. Give me another one.
Or I guess,
There's always a few options, right?
Straight ahead to the where those street signs are.
Like here?
Where that like right under, yeah, right here.
Yeah. Now, now is this going to be a swing angle? No, hang on. Is this going to be a swing angle or is this going to be a shield angle?
Shield angle for sure.
Probably just a shield angle, right? Why? Well, because Malga's trying to light me up. But you know what? Let him.
Okay.
Let him. You got 1,500 shield to below. Go for it. What's he going to do? So as your team walks forward, does he have cover? Does he have a corner? No. So what's going to happen to him?
Just get lit up while
He's going to get shot in the face.
Yeah.
Right. And so then he's going to back up. So then you're going to go, oh, well, I guess I'll take my corner here now. And maybe I'll actually swing now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take your corner.
So just crawl my way towards.
You killed your Genji. You killed your Genji here. Because your Genji's the one holding the corner, but he doesn't have help. This is where a bad tank is. A bad tank is a tank that either takes way too many resources and provides no value, or takes zero space. Zero space. You need to play your effective range, right? Where's my effective range? Up close, Where's my cover? Up close? Okay, I thought I'd go here. I go here. Shatter was fine. It's a little unfortunate that you guys use trance there as well. But yeah, it's fine. This fight was a mess. Everyone blows a bunch of ultimates. Next fight. Not a great fire strike. We'll shelve that one. We'll put that in our list of things to do. I won't bring it up anymore, but that is definitely something to practice. Okay.
Now, I noticed here they kind of just walk back.
Well, there's two reasons why. One, because you're on payload, and again, Moira and Hanzo don't want anything to do with you up close.
Yeah.
You're creating space. Moira's going like, I can't, I'm out. You know, set. She doesn't want anything to do with it. The other thing is your Genji's just an absolute demon, to be honest with you, this game. And so he was doing... You and your Genji, indirectly, like accidentally, well, not accidentally, through some deliberate focus and effort on your end, were doing a great job. Because your Genji was consistently taking angles, and you were consistently finding corners on main and not taking a lot of damage. And so that it was really, really hard for them, because your Genji was like always pocketed, because you weren't taking damage all the time. And then even stuff like this is your Genji's fault, but like you are almost there to back him up by pinning to another corner. Nice job. Now I want to really highlight this play because this is. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like, so if you go back into first person, I know that brig is there, and I know there's an entire team on the left, and like I was kind of like in a like. Analysis paralysis where it's like she's low over there and like that's a great pick on you know on a healer, but I've got an entire team to the left, so if I go towards her I'm gonna have 4 people shooting me in the back.
True.
Like,
true. So you have 2 choices here, 3 choices really. 1 is hold the corner. This corner's fine. 2 is push this angle here. Remember what we did with the Ana?
Yeah.
Push to this corner here. Okay, see what they respond. 3rd is what you did here, pin here. Because you know what? What's that brig's response gonna be?
All of her CC, everything she's got.
She's going to throw everything. And the question is this a corner? And the answer is yes, it is. There is cover here. Like, really, what are we looking for in a corner? Like, let's not be super, let's not be super nitpicky about the definition. We just would cover, right? We just want cover. So we pen to cover, and then you press the button, the shield. And you hold shield, and you hold shield, and you hold shield, and you hold shield, and you hold shield. Because everybody in their mother is going to come flying over. And as long as you can pin and hold shield, you're good to go. So what happens here? You take a little too much damage on entry. You're a little bit indecisive, right? You talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
So we would have liked to have been about 500 HP here, 450 at least, right? Then this is where you absolutely just need to hold shield. Because to give your team credit, they did walk. You notice this? Look at your Tracer, look at your Juno, look at your Zenyatta sightlines even. They are following up off of this. So if all you do is hold shield here, this Malga bleeds, and you don't. I don't think that pin was a bad idea. I think I understood the video. You thought you were dead, might as well get a trade. But yeah, the problem was not the pin. The problem was the execution off of the pin. Okay. The rule with Rein is pin to a corner and swing if there's somebody there, shield if there's not.
Yeah, I didn't know that Juno was behind me healing. I just thought I was completely isolated from,
I get it.
all healers.
I get
so
it.
That's where like my awareness.
Have some confidence in your experimentation though, you know? If you're pinning on an angle with corner and your team is there, just have confidence that there's going to be follow-up. Not every single time. Maybe not even to heal you. You might even die. But that there's going to be follow-up shooting something else, right? Corner to corner. Corner to corner. And if you want to go in aggressive, you want to go in defensive, it doesn't matter. The rules, you pin. If you can swing, swing. If you can't, shield. Next corner. Where do you go? So you start to hold here, and then Brig pushes you. And this is a great example of why cover matters. Brig's like, oh, I can go kill Ryan, right? Who's the one going to die now? Brig, right? Now, she might not die immediately, but this is not a good trade for her. That is extremely risky. And she had to walk into you. She bashes you. The Malga's shooting you, and your HP is still fine. So she actually ends up having to back off. Now, they try to commit. You need to block that slam if you can. Malga's face just comes flying into frame. It's hilarious. Hold shield. Hold shield. Hold shield. Hold shield. Now, you're probably like, stupid character making me hold shield. That's true, but he's going to die. He's going to die for that. And that Brig dies for that. You miss your pin. He uses ultimate. He gets mega, and you miss shatter, and he still dies.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I made it out of that one.
Yeah. It's because you did a good job. Like, as bad as your shatter was, as bad as your pin was, And honestly, not even good with your shield usage. You held cover. You held cover. You held cover.
Yeah.
You were really good with your cover usage, and he was not. And so he lost a lot of HP. And tried to use an ultimate to compensate, but it was too late. Holding cover is not about not doing things. It's about being able to do things with full HP when you want to. Like, this is a great example right here. You're being very disciplined with your cover usage. Hanzo kind of overextends, and look at your HP. All right?
Wow. Okay, yeah.
So actually here, even though you missed the pin, maybe you hit, I don't know. You should have kept going here. You should have killed this guy. I would have let him do a little bit of damage to me. I'm gonna kill him, right? It's not about being more passive. It's being like, okay, I've been disciplined, and now I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
You have not seen. You're about to see the wrath of Khan here. Like I have been super disciplined. Even here, right? Like I've been super disciplined. Now I can do whatever the frick I want. There's no way you're stopping me. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
I mean, same thing, right? They really want to shoot the Rhine. They really want to shoot the Rhine, but this Malga's not being near as disciplined with cover. I mean, like, does he have cover at all? No. So watch his HP. Boom. You see that? That's the difference.
Yeah,
That's the difference. That's the difference. Not just between your cover usage and his, but that's the difference between your hero and his. You know, your hero just has a shield. When you don't have cover, you have a shield. Pin was a little awkward there. That's okay. Now, okay, I thought this was going to be another fight, but no, this is fine. A little bit wide. Careful. Decisively get out of that dragon. We get tranced. Don't hit the pin. We swing.
I don't think I hit a single pin this whole game.
It happens. It's tough. Now, this is an important fight because this is exactly what I was talking about. This is not a corner. This is a corner.
Oh, okay.
So you're allowed to stand here just to be silly for a second. I'm okay with it. It's hilarious, you know. But you need to get out and hold here. If they push you,
that's what you were telling me to do.
no, that's okay. That's the problem of live coaching. It's just not always clear communication. If you go here, what are they going to do? They have two choices. What are those choices? So you're going to hold here. They walk out, and then what do you do? You're standing right here. What do you do?
Swing.
Swing. What if they all focus you? That Malcolm pops cardiac, Discord, blah, you know. What do you do?
Shield up.
Shield. And then who's shooting them in the cheeks, okay?
Yeah.
That's the question that you're making them choose. Who do you want to focus, me or my team? You can't focus both. And because I'm playing split, but within my team's sightlines, they can't win. So the problems here is you just need to shield and actually back to the corner. Because you stand in the open, they're guaranteed just to burn your shield. And also, if they want to focus you and your team at the same time, they can. Because you're behind or in front of your team. Does that make sense? Here, there's an impossible choice they have to make. There's not a good choice.
They're shooting one or the other, not both.
Right. Here, and not only that, but you don't have cover in the meantime, too. It's so crazy to me that you didn't cap. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the contest range is huge, but yeah. So the key thing is that because of either concern for your team or just legitimate fear, you leave corners and then ironically die. That's the funny thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next corner. This is, by the way, also a corner. Just something to consider. Corners can be very aggressive. This is great. I love the decisiveness of the shatter. And this is where you just need to hold shield. Like, this guy is a jackass. He really thinks he's him. He's going to die for it. You just need to hold shield. Because you're like, oh, I could swing. No. His sustain, sadly, more than your swing damage. A lot of the time, especially mid-cardiac. It sucks, but it's how it is. Okay, team dies. Next corner. You walk forward. Junkrat has to leave, so Junkrat now loses the angle. Junkrat, watch again the blue circles, right? You hold that corner, you can either swing or shield. You go forward, they back off. He even hinders you, but because you're behind a corner, it doesn't matter. You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. So Junkrat thinks he's him, like, oh, I'm going to get in here, yeah. No, he's not. He's just going to die, right? So if people try to contest you up close that aren't, Malgo with cardiac, they die. They should die. And this right here is where you were like, oh, I just feel like no, it's fine. You have a pen. You can chase as much as you like. Pen is a great mobility cooldown. Just be decisive with it. That's all. Okay. Let's take some notes. Reinhardt. What do you have to practice? Give me a few things.
Move to corner.
Corner
Which is
to
a complete different style of play I've ever played Reinhardt, but still cool.
Mm-hmm.
My fire strikes need more attention.
Yep, more intention with fire strikes. Okay to pin push as long as it's to a corner. And then what about when to swing and when to shield? General guidelines here.
Yeah, like what you said with like if like force the enemy team to make a decision, like shoot me or shoot the team, you know? Yeah.
Taking angles with Ryan with cover.
Also just looking at other cover as a corner or cover, because like you pointed out the one piece of corner at the top of that bridge, and I was like, I would never stand there as Reinhardt, but now that I think about it, like, why wouldn't I? You know?
Yep. Absolutely. Last thing I would say in this is more just like vague guidelines to keep in mind, less so it's something actionable to practice. Ask yourself, should I be shielding or swinging here? Ask yourself, how should I be swinging or shielding? If you want to do swing, well, then you need to be very disciplined with cover. If you want to find good value out of your shield, well, then also need to be having cover, right? But the reality is that whatever you do, cover is going to amplify it, but then there's a lot of different choices that you can make. Which one should you do? Swing or shield? Swing or shield? Well, it depends. It really depends. Your call. Depends on the situation. Can you hit them with your hammer? Then swing. If you can't, hold shield. A lot of Ryan is going to be operating in very extreme situations where you're either swinging like crazy or hard shielding. And to be able to make that recognition is really, really, really important.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right, man.